Hello, this is Ms. Terrio, Vice Principal of the Freshman Academy. The mission of the Freshman Academy is to educate and prepare incoming freshmen for a successful and smooth transition into high school. It provides a personalized environment, enhances self-esteem, promotes responsible citizenship, fosters desires for lifelong learning, and develops skills necessary for future success in life. There are some administrators that you need to know in addition to myself at Revere High School. This is Dr. Garcia, our principal, and this is Mr. Mitchell, the assistant principal. Also in the high school, you have 4 vice principals. I am the vice principal of the Freshman Academy. Again, my name is Ms. Terrio. Ms. Meyer will have grade 10. Mr. Magno will have grade 12. And Mr. Paczynski will have grade 11. The hours at the high school are different according to different days. Mondays and Tuesdays, you need to be in your class by 8:18, and you are dismissed at 2:20. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, you need to be in your advisory class by 7:50, and you're dismissed at 2:20. And just in case you like a different visual, this here lays it out in a different format for you. In the Freshman Academy, we have some policies that we all handle in the same manner. The first that I'd like to talk about is dress code, which is right here. The dress code policy is covered in much more extensively in another section, but for right now, we'll just concentrate on consequences for offenses that may be made according to the dress code policy. If you have an infraction, your first offense, you'd be referred to me, your vice principal. You would notify your parent, and you'd have to change your clothes. Second offense, meaning that it happens again, you would be referred to your vice principal, you would need to change clothes, and you would receive a 30-minute office session, which means you have to stay 30 minutes after school beyond the school day. You'd also have to notify your parents. That office session gets logged into your discipline record. That's not something that you want to have here at the high school. If by chance you haven't learned your lesson and you have a third offense, you would again be referred to your vice principal, need to change your clothes. This time I would be notifying your parent or guardian, and you would receive an in-house detention, not something you want on your record at all. Let's move on to hats in the building. This is also covered in another area in these videos that I've created, but hats are not allowed in the building at all. If you happen to have a hat on, you would be notified to your vice principal, and that entry would go into your discipline record. Your hat must be stored in your locker or it would be confiscated. You would receive a 20-minute session from a teacher. Second offense, you would be referred to my office and you would have to talk to me about it. You must store your hat in your locker or I'll confiscate it. You would receive a 30-minute office session which then goes into your record and you would notify your parent. If it happens on a third offense, you would again be referred to me, store the hat in the locker. I, however, would notify your parent or guardian and issue you in-house detention. The next section is food or drink in class other than water. It's very important not to have anything in the classrooms other than water because we don't want spills and sticky things or to attract any type of insects or things like that. And we also have these iPads and expensive equipment that you are now using, so we would like to protect them. So if you should have anything in class other than water, you would receive a verbal warning from the teacher, and the teacher will ask you to dispose of it, or they may confiscate it. And that is the policy, so please do not argue with them because that will just get you into further disciplinary consequences, which you do not want. If it happens a second time, the teacher will give you a 20-minute session and ask you to throw it away or they'll take it from you. If it happens again on a third time, you'll be referred to the vice principal's office where you will have discipline of an office session and it will be logged into your record and whatever it is that you have will be confiscated or disposed of. The last section here is electronic device, visible without permission. The key here is visible without permission. You can have electronic devices as long as your teachers give you permission to use them. And since you have iPads, you shouldn't be having electronic devices out anyway. iPads are fine, but as long as your teacher gives you permission to use it, there are also times when they will ask you to put it away or put your, iPad down for a few moments while they're trying to teach you something without it. So should you have a first offense, it will be confiscated, and typically we're talking about cell phones, MP3 players, things like that. They'll be confiscated, locked in the vice principal's office. The student will notify the parent, and the student can receive it at the end of the school day. This will be recorded in the discipline log for the student as insubordination. If it happens again and there's a second offense, the item will be confiscated, again locked in the vice principal's office. The student will notify the parent, and this time it will only be returned to a parent or guardian. And a student will receive a 30-minute office session, and again it will go into the discipline entry as insubordination. A third offense, it will again be confiscated and locked in a VP's office, returned only to a parent by the vice principal, and the student would receive an office session, in-house detention, or possibly out-of-school suspension. Freshmen will have first lunch at the beginning of the year, and if things go well, we will integrate them into all lunches to make them transition into the normal school lunch schedule. But to start, freshmen will be all together in first lunch only. While in the cafeteria, students are to remain in the cafeteria area during their entire lunch period. You cannot leave the cafeteria without permission. Students are expected to clean their table area before leaving the cafeteria. Dropping or throwing food in the cafeteria is not permitted. When you leave the Freshman Academy lunch, I do expect the cafeteria to be spotless, and you'll notice when you start here at the school, as you're leaving the cafeteria, upperclassmen are coming in, so there's no time to clean the tables. You need to make sure that you clean up your own area, and you're in high school now, and that is totally acceptable for you to do. Take out exactly what you bring in with you. Due to high levels of allergies, trading or giving away any food in the cafeteria is not permitted. Just keep each other safe. Students may use the lavatories, or also known as bathrooms, outside of the cafeteria near the Red House office, which is on the first floor. No loitering will be allowed in the area, and students will return directly to the cafeteria after. All other areas of the school are off limits during lunchtime. You are not allowed to use your locker during lunch. You must plan ahead. You cannot go to the second floor to get anything from your locker for your next class. So make sure that you take everything you need before you go down to lunch, or get it on the way back. Gambling games, including role-playing dice and playing cards, are not permitted during lunch. You are allowed to use cell phones, MP3 players, electronic devices during lunch period, but you must do so responsibly. And also, you can use your iPad during lunch. You must carry your ID in order to purchase lunch in the cafeteria, and as usual, you need to have it on your neck, around your neck on the lanyard that is provided to you. So you must have those in order to purchase lunch in the cafeteria, and you must have it on at all times. And we ask that you treat all cafeteria personnel with courtesy and respect. They do a good job, and they are there to help you. Here at the high school, we have a lot of different clubs and activities. Here are just a few. There's a website at the bottom of the page, but if you go to Revere Public Schools and go to the high school link, you can see different clubs and activities that we offer here. Basically, what you need to know is that if there is an interest that you have, and we do not yet have the club, all you need to do is find a faculty member that has the same interest, and you can probably get that club started on your own. So if there's nothing here for you, then why don't you start it? As a freshman, you have to complete community service and a portfolio. You'll be required to submit the following: a minimum of 1 artifact that exemplifies each of the core expectations for a total of 9 artifacts, each with a self-scored rubric and reflection. Students may submit at any time throughout the year additional artifacts that were found to be personally meaningful. Rubrics can be found on the school website, and your advisor will help you with this as the year comes to start. You also need to have a brief reflection on the artifacts submitted throughout the year, identifying those that were most meaningful. This will be submitted at the conclusion of the school year. You also must have completed a minimum of 5 community service hours toward your 26-hour graduation requirement by the end of your freshman year. Students who do not complete these requirements by the end of their freshman year will be placed on social probation until they do so. That means no sports and no clubs or activities until you complete these requirements. The first day of school, I have no doubt you're all very mixed with emotions, probably some nervousness, some excitement, but definitely nervousness. You're probably afraid of getting lost, not getting the classes that you need, not knowing if you'll make friends, but I can assure you that you have an unbelievable team of teachers here waiting for you that are very eager to get you into their classrooms to help you. The first day of school is August 27th. You need to be in the auditorium by 8:18 a.m., no later than that. You will then be escorted to homeroom by your teacher, and you may come to school earlier and eat breakfast in the cafeteria. All the vice principals will be on the front door, and we will direct you exactly where to go. So do not worry. All you need to know is come to school on August 27th, be in the auditorium by 8:18, and we'll help you take it from there. Keep these dates in mind. On these particular days, there is no school at Revere High School. So put those into your calendar on your iPad now. Friday, August 30th, Monday, September 2nd, Thursday, September 5th, Friday, September 6th, and Friday, September 27th. Make sure that you save these dates and make sure that your families put them into their calendars because they're very important evenings that we have scheduled here for you at the high school. Meet the Teacher Night is September 10th. Parent-teacher conferences are November 7th. And we will also have other conferences and events that come up, and the way that you can check those dates is through the calendar on the school website, www.revereps.mec.edu.